is great debate about pre-tribulation and post-tribulation, and as a result, this has stolen much time from the believers for doing what God has already called them to do, like making disciples. Now, first, let's understand what the debate is all about. The one group of believers believe that when God gives more authority to Satan, which is to come, it's going to be after the elect are taken up with him. And therefore, those who experience this great wrath of God are not going to be the modern day church, which is you and I. Again, this is called the pre-tribulation period. Now, what is the post-tribulation belief all about? It is the belief that Christ will only return after this period of severe tribulation. Now, if you look carefully at Scripture, you are going to find a few things. According to Matthew 24, Jesus is speaking to the disciples. In him speaking to the disciples, he is also speaking to the modern day church. Now we find in verse 21 of Matthew 24, he says that the tribulation that is going to take place will be like nothing in the past, nor anything in the future. What does this mean? In other words, the tribulation is going to be something that is going to experience that is going to be final. Then in verses 22, he says that those days will be cut short because of the elect. In other words, the reason for those days to be cut short is because of his mercy for you and I. So we see here, we as the elect are still around. Then in Matthew 24 verse 23 he says that there will be many who will come and claim that Christ has returned, that he has returned. Now remember, if Christ had returned before the tribulation, then won't the church, which is the elect, not be around, and wouldn't the world and even those who remain not be fooled because they would have already known that Christ has returned? Then the Lord goes on to say that even the elect, if it be possible, will be fooled by the false Christ. And there will be many false Christ and many false prophets. Now, why would Jesus be warning the elect if they were not around during this most difficult time? So again, we find that the elect are still around. Then Jesus says that immediately after the tribulation, the following is going to happen. The sun will be darkened, the moon will have no light, and the stars shall fall from the sky. He also goes on to say that the powers of heaven will be shaken. And even then, he has not yet returned. The Bible then goes on to say, and then the sign of the Lord will be seen in the sky. And then tribes of the earth will mourn. Has the Lord still returned? Not yet. I believe they will mourn for what they are experiencing, and whilst mourning, they are seeing or will see the sign of the Lord. Now, the sign of the Lord cannot be the actual return, because the Bible tells us that first the sign, then all the earth will mourn, and then they will see the Lord return. Will all on earth see his return? Yes. According to Scripture, all will. He then sends his angels. After all of this happens, he then sends his angels, and they will gather the harvest, which are the elect, which is you and me. Now remember, does the harvest take place while the enemy sowed the evil amongst the children? No. In the parable of the wheat and the tares, you'll find that the wheat was allowed to grow together with the tares. They experienced everything together, and the harvesters, who are the angels, then came when the tares had matured in their roles and the wheat had matured in theirs. Again, even before you who are the elect are gathered by the angels of the Lord, something else has got to happen. And that is the evil are first gathered by the angels, and they are made ready for eternal damnation. The maturity for harvesting is when we have overcome, even though the wicked grew alongside us. And if you are around, then you will have to mature now in the things of the Lord. Because by overcoming this tribulation that is about to take place, then you are setting yourself to be ready for the final spiritual harvest. So if you think that all is well now and you will be long gone before the tribulation takes place, then you need to think again. And this means you will have to be ready for what is to come, because there's still that possibility of the elect falling away according to Scripture. Therefore, Jesus said, "Will I find faith when I return?"